Welcome to episode 239 of the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm looking at the AFC playoff picture in my wildcard predictions for the first round of the 2020 NFL playoffs for the AFC side. If we look at it, we got the Chiefs at the number 1 seed, Buffalo, I believe at 15-1, or 14-2 because they lost today, benching their starters in week 17. So finishing at 14-2. Buffalo Bills, they finished 13-3 and arguably 14-2 if you don't, in my eyes, they're 14-2 because that fluke play against the Arizona Cardinals, which came down to a Hail Mary that wouldn't happen 99 out of 100 times. In my eyes, the Buffalo Bills are 14-2, but they're 13-3. It doesn't matter. They're the 2 seed. Pittsburgh Steelers, we know they're amazing 11-0 run. Finished 12-4. They're at the 3rd seed. Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry hit 2,000 rushing yards this season. Great for him. They're at the 4th seed at 11-5. Baltimore Ravens had a rough start, went to 6-5, finished the season 11-5. They're at the 5th seed, sorry. The Cleveland Browns, I believe they finished, 11-5. Baker's definitely, I guess, taking the step up. He's saving the Browns. They haven't been to the playoffs since 2002. Here they are, 18 years later in the playoffs. Good for Baker Mayfield and the Browns. Then at the 7th seed, Indianapolis Colts, their rookie running back Jonathan Taylor is taking off for them. Phillip Rivers, however we know, struggles in the playoffs. Then just missing the playoffs, Miami Dolphins finishing 10-6. Tough loss for them today, losing to the Bills 56-26, 30-point loss. Doesn't look good for Tua, but I think the Miami Dolphins definitely have a very bright future. So looking at the wild card matchups, we got Josh Allen against Phillip Rivers in the first round, 2 seed versus 7 seed. Chiefs obviously getting the first round bye. I think Josh Allen and the Bills are arguably the best team in the NFL right now. If I had to rank them, they would be my number 2 team, but I know some people have them at number 1. Colin Cowherd has them as their number 1 team in the NFL. I think Josh Allen and the Bills will take down Phillip Rivers and the Colts. Biggest reason being is Josh Allen's playing at an MVP level. Stephon Diggs is arguably the best receiver in the league. There's some depth on the receiving core between Cole Beasley and John Brown. Not the greatest, but there's depth and there's well-rounded receivers there. Defense isn't stellar, but it's well-rounded. And that coaching staff between Sean McDermott and Brian Daboll being arguably the best offensive coordinator in the league and Sean McDermott being top 10 coach in the league, I think will beat the Indianapolis Colts because I think if you lock down Jonathan Taylor, which is easier said than done, the dude's been taken off. I think the Colts are very limited. We know Phillip Rivers shits his pants come playoff time, doesn't ever win in big games by any means. And just because he's on a new team doesn't mean he's a different player. I think Phillip Rivers will buckle. He's going to lose. Buffalo will be in Buffalo. Buffalo Bills will be in Buffalo. Just every advantage the Buffalo Bills could have, they do have. And I think the Bills will come away with a dominant win, at least by 10 to 14 points, probably. I don't like putting an exact number on it because I'm just guessing, but I think they'll definitely win in a dominant win. Phillip Rivers will shit his pants, throw an interception or so. Bills will capitalize off that. I like Bills making a deep run to the playoffs and winning their first round. Next matchup, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Cleveland Browns. Steelers have been shaky. Browns have been getting their shit together. But for me, I'm going to roll the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this wild card matchup. Early in the season, the Pittsburgh Steelers, when everyone is healthy, the Steelers on a hot run, they beat the Cleveland Browns 38-7. Week 17 in the NFL, the Steelers benched Big Ben to give him rest, their starting quarterback, and a couple other guys to just give their team rest. The Browns edge them out 24-22, and the game really came down to a 2-point conversion. So for the Browns to have a healthy team outside of Odell Beckham, but having a healthy team, nothing else really due to COVID, and only winning by 2 points, and really it was just a game time last second play to win the game and seal the game for the Browns, and not even playing the Steelers starters. I don't think the Browns are going to be able to play the Steelers at 100%. Therefore, I think the Steelers can definitely beat the Browns and will be the Browns. Now, the Browns have a chance, of course, between Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. That backfield is stellar, and the Steelers' defense taking some hits taking some losses is what I mean by hit, between Devin Bush and Bud Dupree. That's going to be a great spot for the running backs on the Browns to capitalize off of between Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and then still Jarvis Landry being a great threat for Baker Mayfield to throw to. However, Steelers are still a great team, still got an offense of their own between Juju Smith and Chase Claypool and Big Ben, of course. And, of course, on the defensive side, even though they've taken some injury losses, TJ Watt is arguably the best defensive player in the league right now. Him or Aaron Donald can't go wrong either way. TJ Watt is a freaking nightmare for any NFL team. Therefore, I think the Steelers are just going to edge them out. Like I said, biggest reason being is the Browns barely beat them playing their the Steelers backups. I think a healthy Steelers and a starting lineup of the Steelers will definitely beat the Cleveland Browns. Then, last matchup in the AFC for the wildcard round, we got the Tennessee Titans versus the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I'd like to say, if I'm putting money on the line, I would bet the Baltimore Ravens over the Tennessee Titans. However, I've said this last year. I said Lamar Jackson would easily destroy the Tennessee Titans last year, and then Derrick Henry came out of nowhere and had one of the best playoff runs by a running back in NFL history. So, I could be completely wrong because I predicted the Ravens to easily beat the Titans last year. However, and I'm predicting the same thing. However, I could be wrong. So, it's tough to say. We haven't seen Lamar Jackson win a playoff game yet. I think if he wins this one, that's going to be a big hump for him to get over. Give him a big leap, great confidence, and give the Ravens a potential to make a deep playoff run. I'm not a fan of this Ravens team, but I like this Ravens team to make a deep playoff run and surprise a lot of people and a lot of teams in the NFL this season. I think Lamar Jackson is dangerous. Not a fan of his quarterback playing style long term because he's not going to have his speed forever. But as of right now, while the dude's still 23, I think the Ravens' Lamar Jackson is dangerous. Dez Bryant is a X factor. You know, he does an X touchdown pun, I guess. That is very underrated in my opinion for the Ravens. I think he's a great addition for the receiving core. Still not prime Dez Bryant, but still a great safety blanket and addition for Lamar Jackson to throw to and rely on outside of Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews. Defense well-rounded. I like the Baltimore Ravens over the Tennessee Titans, but I would not be surprised if Derrick Henry does his typical thing, runs for 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ryan Tannehill does his thing, puts up a pair of touchdowns, 0 interceptions, play conservative, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the Titans win this game 28-20 over the Ravens. But if I'm betting money, I think Lamar Jackson is too dangerous right now. Reigning MVP, he's taken a step back this year, but he's gotten his confidence back. Went from 6-5 to 11-5. They're on a hot streak. Titans almost lost to the Texans. I think the Ravens are much better than the Texans. Therefore, I'm not going to say that's my only logic. You've heard my logic, but just showing a tight game against Deshaun Watson and then no one else Texans. I think the Ravens are much more well-rounded than the Texans. Therefore, that's a great example of why I think the Ravens could beat the Tennessee Titans, and I think they will. It would be a great weekend to see. I believe the wild card weekend starts January 9th, next Saturday. I'm going to love to see it. So for my predictions, I got the Ravens winning over the Titans, the Steelers winning over the Browns, and the Bills winning over the Indianapolis Colts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Any other videos you want to see, 2-minute warning.